Hey there, YouTubers. This is your Fully Fit coach, Coach AJ, and you're watching another episode of Living Fully Fit. And so tonight, we're going to look at fully fit relationships. Have you ever asked the question of when you see someone, whether at work or at school or in your day-to-day life, when you see them like living their life, or you see them going through a hard time or their attitude or whatever it is, do you ever ask that question of what's really going on? So I'm going to really challenge you in this video to start looking beyond the surface. Many times when we see people, we see surface level things. Again, imagine the iceberg, right? We see the tip of what people show us. You think about work especially. You go to the office, you go to work, whatever job you have, and people tend to show you a different face than what's really going on below the surface. Or again, if you're in school, same thing, right? Whether school or work or day-to-day life, people tend to only show you a tip of what they're really going through, who they really are even, and what kind of situation they're in. You know, I had a friend who would say that she had the RBF, right? The resting face. And what it was, that people thought that she was angry all the time, but that was just her expression. But what if something was deeper there? Maybe there was more to it. Maybe she was going through a hard time, but everybody's assumption was that she was unapproachable, she was just a mean person. And that's what we do, is we tend to kind of look at the book, the cover, before we read the book. You've heard that expression before. We judge a book by its cover. We see people by that tip of that surface, of that iceberg of who they really are. And rarely do we go in depth. There's a good Bible verse, and we're not talking about spiritual fitness, but I just want to read this. It's from John 7:24. It says, "Be honest in your judgment, and do not decide at glance, superficially by appearances, but judge fairly and righteously." So again, don't just judge by the first glance, right? If you think about it, below the office, we think of people as a loser. Maybe they need a friend. Or we think of them as a hoe or a skank or whatever it is. Maybe they're just desperate for love and they were wounded in their past. Maybe they had a terrible father figure in their life and they just are looking for that love somewhere. We never see beyond the surface. We just see them as we want to see them, as the world sees them, as the surface level, right? We see them as, oh, they're scary, there's intensity there, but maybe there's beyond there's tenderness. Maybe that scariness, that anger is just a front to protect themselves. Or that bully, you think about bullies. Truly, most bullies, if you look statistically, most bullies are very insecure. And they're bullies because there's something going on deeper beyond the surface. And there's bullies are in our adult life especially, right? I mean, you might have a bully at work where you're just like, this guy or this gal won't leave me alone. But a lot of times that person cuts people down or gossips is because of insecurity. And so we look at all these little aspects. People who seem very cocky are truly insecure. Or they're cocky because there's a lot of pain behind that. So I would challenge you to look beyond the surface of how you see people. Because when we start doing that, then you start to see people for who they really are, and you can build deeper interconnected relationships and help people along their journey as well. Because here's the warnings of having that shallow sight. We tend to be wrong. We miss out on experiences. We create in ourselves a pattern of seeing people in a superficial way. And then what we end up doing is we pass along these beliefs. We rally people to our cause. It's like when you were a kid and you had that goofy looking kid in your class and that one person makes fun of them. So guess what? Everybody makes fun of them because it's contagious. Same thing at work. You have that one person that that one person avoids, so then they latch on like, well, I want to avoid them too. I want to be avoided as well. So you just latch on. You know what's funny is we don't ever grow up from this phase, which is sad. From elementary to junior high to high school to college to the working force, we really haven't grown up. We still categorize people in certain groups of people to the point where we forget to look at people in a different way and be loving and generous. So there's a show called Britain's Got Talent. And it's just like America's Got Talent. And there's this lady named Susan Boyle. I'll put the link on my Facebook page and also put the link down here on the comments as well. But Susan Boyle gets on stage on Britain's Got Talent. Susan Boyle gets on stage on Britain's Got Talent. And from the outside perspective, you are not expecting the voice that comes out of this woman. And just like Susan Boyle, people see people like that on the outside. We judge, we prejudge, we see people at surface level, and we don't get deeper. And why is that? Why did people react to Susan Boyle negatively? I mean, if you watch the video, and I challenge you to watch it, you'll see that people do one or two things. Like, who's this girl? Who's this lady going to sing the song? And that's the reality. We look at people in that way. You think about your day-to-day life, though, at work, of people you see every day. Why are they reacting the way they are? Why do they seem angry all the time? Why do they seem defensive? Why are they overly cocky? There's more to that. Are you that person too? That's the question. Are you that overly cocky person, that overly angry person? And do you want to keep portraying yourself that way? We're talking about building relationships here. And how we build relationships, and healthy relationships that help build that balance of what fully fit is. We have to look into looking deeper beyond the surface. We have to look past the obvious. Past the obvious of what we see on the surface level. We have to move past our zone. We kind of stay in our little bubble of friends and group and cliques. Again, cliques exist everywhere. It's sad, right? So when I was a youth pastor for a good 13 years of my life, I kind of was very countercultural to the point where, it rubbed people the wrong way. Because I didn't want to be like every other youth group in a church. So I was very big about, we're going to get rid of the word youth group and turn it into youth family. I wanted to be as inclusive as possible because I wanted to get my youth kids out of that zone, out of that comfort zone of where they were, because I noticed that youth group was acting just like school. There was the jocks over here and the goths over here and the skaters over here and the popular kids over here, and no one was intermingling. So I got rid of the idea of group, mixed everybody in, and granted, yeah, we lost some kids, but we increased our number tenfold. I was at a church once where we had maybe 27, 28 kids, and by the time I left that church, we had about almost 380 kids strong in our youth ministry. And why? I challenged and forced my youth kids, my teenagers, to move past their zone. And because of that, they became stronger. They got to know people outside of what they were used to. But imagine the relationships you can build when you get out of your zone. The people you can meet, the people that can build into your life, the dynamicness of it. It's like, again, I spent a year in Japan and got to meet some amazing people and really integrate into that culture and know the culture, because you can go to a different country and still be narrow-minded American, right? As an American, we think we're all that. And then you get to another country and you realize you're not, because there's other things other countries have to offer. So So I spent my year in Japan, and I really integrated into the culture. I learned the language, not thoroughly, but I learned as much as I could, and I learned the cultures and the norms and the customs and courtesies of that country, and I really got to get out of my zone and make lifelong friends there. So move past your zone. But be ready to engage. Be ready to meet people where they're at and not expect them to be where you're at. Because maybe you've reached a certain pinnacle in your life, and that's great. But there's other people that haven't reached that point yet. Maybe because of maturity or experience or age, whatever it is. Be willing to be flexible. Relationship takes time. But relationship takes open-mindedness here. But the biggest thing here is be ready to exchange. Exchange your life and their life. Have an exchange. Have a new experience. That's what life's about, right? Look beyond the surface. Look beyond what you see as the norm. As you look into building relationships, because maybe you have your relationships and they're set. You have your friends and they're set. But you can grow beyond where you're at. We're meant to grow. We're meant to evolve mentally and physically in relationship. We're meant to evolve our minds and our scope. That's how we become more intelligent, how we gain knowledge, how we widen our gaze, how we move forward, how we progress is by opening our minds and allowing ourselves to see people differently, to exchange in relationships you wouldn't exchange with. You know, we're in a very polarized society now. It's Republican and Democrat. It's liberal, it's conservative. It's this, it's that. It's this person against that person. And it's so sad. It's this religion against that religion. And again, we've divided ourselves based off of titles and based off of beliefs, based off of politics. And I guarantee you, if you look beyond that surface of politics, religion or gender, whatever it is, you'll see so much more, and you'll see so much more commonalities versus divisiveness. You'll see more things that bring you together than set you apart. So my challenge for you is look beyond the surface. Make a new friend, whether it's at work or at the gym you work out at or wherever it is. I challenge you to see people with a different lens. Again, thank you for watching. I'm Coach AJ, your Living Fully Fit coach, and this has been another episode of Living Fully Fit. Thanks for watching. If you like what you watch, go ahead and subscribe down below. Share with a friend. Also check out my Facebook page, Living Fully Fit on Facebook. Support, like, share. Thanks.